All right, let's talk about this Guild 1959 X-50. I love this guitar. You know, I think it has a special mojo, and I came across it. An article about the pickups really, and I was thinking about what do I like about this. There's a couple things I actually don't like about it, and I'll talk about that as well. But the reason I like this is you can't age. By that I have relic guitars, but there's no substitute for an instrument just aging on its own naturally. So this thing is from 1959, and it shows. It's been well. You can't get all this, but it's been well played and worn out. Look at the binding on this thing. No repairs. Nothing has been done to it. This was not a couch. These are all. This is from '59. So you see all of this stuff on there. Original Franz pickup. It's got all the everything about it is old. The only thing that's not all on it is the frets. I did get the guitar refretted. And these are just car, forgot, but they're actually very, very big frets because I like them like that. And the reason I got the refretted wasn't that the frets were that bad. For me, the biggest problem I have with this guitar is the nut width. This is skinny, what do you call it? A skinny neck. And I'm not one for, I like fat Gibson baseball bats. This thing is not even, I'm not a gearhead, but this is not even 1 and 11/16. I think it's 1 and 5/8. It's tiny over here. And also, too, it's got a tendency to fret out. By that, I mean, if I'm not careful when I'm on the high E, I get this happening a little bit, right? So basically, I can't get this. If this thing were like this, it would be the ultimate guitar. But having said that, the larger frets do help, and I'm just cognizant of some of the stuff that I'm playing, not to go too wacky off of it, and you get a beautiful rich tone. So I wanted to know what it was about this guitar that made it sound so good. And so I started like looking it up. When I first bought it, to be honest with you, I bought it because I thought it looked good. I was like, wow, it's 1959. I had the dough, so I went and got it. And then I plugged it and I was like, oh my God, it's incredible. And for whatever reason, I have never been, I probably have to go back and play one. I don't think I've played a lot of Gibson ES 125s, this is basically very similar to it. Those had P90s on it. I think the only other big difference, obviously Gibson's P90 is different than the Gil Franz pickup here. This is also 2 3/4 depth, whereas I think the Gibson is a full 3 inches or 3 inches plus depth. But having said that, I've probably played a couple of them, and I don't know. I like them. They're very nice guitars, but they never did anything for me, so I think I never bought one. But maybe now I'll go and try one. I'll be, oh my God, I'm in love. But what's special about this, I think, is the pickups. And apparently they are in high demand because I kind of looked up some of these things, and I saw people asking. I think there was one listing on Reverb for 2 of these pickups for like $600. Are you kidding me? But what happens is that there's a certain clarity and warmth to these pickups, and I don't own any other guitars with P90s. I probably owned one other Gibson. I owned a Godin that had a P90 a while back, right? But yeah, so you get a clarity of tone without the thing being glassy, so it's very, very, very warm. So it's a fat, fat, fat sound. Yet with the note separation. So I think I have not A-B'd this with a Gibson P90 save a la from the 125, but what I'm hearing is that the Gibson pickups are darker, which I love. I love Gibson guitars just because I love that dark woody Gibson thunk. But this is not a tinny sounding guitar. So I think the Franz pickup, these things, which are original on this, that's the magic sauce for this thing. So despite the neck issues for me, when I say it's not an issue, I think your fingers get used to whatever. I play 1 3/4, 1 11/16. If it's a good guitar and I like the feel of it, I get lost in it. And with the refret, it's a lot easier to play from that perspective. But I would say the pickups are that's the mojo of this thing. That's what's getting all this tone on that. The other thing, ironically enough, is the neck. Despite the width of it, the feel of it, which you cannot tell because you cannot demo feel, feels beautiful. It just not slick, but just worn in a little bit. So really nice. If this thing was just a little bit thicker, it'd be perfect. So you got that stuff going on here. So the other thing is, I love the historical perspective of this thing. This was like a student level guitar, and as far as like vintage instruments go, they're not very expensive. You can buy them for under $2,000, in way better condition than this. But I sort of love the condition that this is in. So it wasn't a pillow princess or a closet princess or underneath a couch or anything like that or a bed. So somebody played it, but they didn't beat the hell out of it, right? So it's like, okay, somebody played it. There are a couple of rough spots you can't see on this thing, and I don't have a cameraman. But there are a couple of spots on the binding, and it's beautiful. It's just beautifully aged, and you can tell that it's but it's not beat up because if you look at the top, you got all these things, and this is the kind of stuff I love. This is why I love guitars, because God knows all the stories behind this thing. Okay, So this is not a relic job. This is not my Nash relic or some other relic that I bought. This is the real thing. So I would say the pickups, the age of the guitar, the feel of the neck, all of that stuff, and it harkens back to another time. It gets me playing a little bit differently, and yeah, these instruments all have stories behind them. Very rarely, I've got a couple of things that are new, but I like buying older played-in instruments for the most part. The reason being is that you can't there's no substitute for something that's been played. They play better. Somebody has and you know it's a good guitar if it's been played. If a guitar has these kinds of things, you know somebody loved it and played the hell out of it. All right, so in any event though, yeah, so this is my 1959 Guild X-50. Very, very nice guitars, some shortcomings in it, but overall it's a keeper just because of the pickups and some of the things that I talked about. So what do you do when you have a guitar like this? You practice, and you practice some more. Thank you again for watching, and have a great start of your weekend.